As an adult that works a 9 to 5 job, you have just 4 hours to be yourself in a day. And I'm going to break it down for you. So you go to work in the morning, you spend 8 hours at your job, then you go home in the evening. Some people close 4, some people close 5. If you're lucky to live close by to where you work, let's say you close by 5 p.m., you get home latest by 6, 6:30. If you live far from where you work and then you live in a country or in a state that has a lot of traffic or heavy traffic, you're going to probably get home around 10, 9, 10, 11 because you live in a place that has heavy traffic or you live far away from your job. That gives you just about, let's say, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 hours of sleep. Even for you to be able to get 5 hours of sleep, it means that maybe you must have grabbed dinner on your way from work, on your way home, you grabbed dinner. Let's say you got home and then you cooked. That leaves you with about 3 to 4 hours of sleep. Then you have to wake up in the morning again and do it all over again. So we literally we are living, we're existing to work in this life, and it's just funny. We're existing just to work. You wake up, you go to work, you spend 8 hours in the office, you spend 2, 3, 4 hours commuting back home, you get to the house, you're so tired and you can barely even do anything useful for yourself. And then that cycle goes on the next day, like it starts over the next day. And the only time you get to be yourself is on weekends. And I feel like it gets to a point where even weekends, like you're just tired. All you want to do is rest. On some weekends, to even do laundry is a big problem because you just want to rest. We're literally just living in this life to pay bills. To pay bills. Working has like really, really taken a huge toll on the quality of the life that I feel a lot of people in that 9 to 5 struggle live. Because at some point, you're thinking to yourself that after this month, I'm just going to resign. Then before the end of the month, some, impromptu bills just come up from nowhere. And then all your plans just go to the bin, just goes to the bin. And then you start again, okay, next month I'll resign. In 2 months I'll resign. But then these bills just keep coming and coming and coming and coming. And you need to pay them. And I feel like a lot of people, a lot of us that are working are very miserable on the job, but there's no choice because we have to pay bills, because we have to eat. And then it's I feel like it's even worse for some jobs because they literally just pay you to be able to afford transportation to that job, and maybe it's when it comes to having savings, being able to do something like something nice for yourself, you really cannot afford it because you're not even getting paid enough. They're just paying you enough money for you to be able to commute to work and probably feed yourself once in a day, especially in a country like Nigeria here. And it's pretty sad. It's very, very sad because they say you should be yourself, but then the way this world is designed, or let me say the way this country is designed, so you don't have the luxury of being yourself. You don't have the resources to be yourself. You just keep living life on autopilot. Just keep living life on autopilot. And it's so sad because by the time you eventually realize that you've been living on autopilot, it's probably too late. And by it's probably too late, I mean you're already too old. You don't have the strength to even do something else again. Some people are just very lucky, when people that do things that they love and make a lot of money from doing things that they love. I feel like they're just very lucky and blessed. This is just me ranting, or let me call it thinking out loud. I'm just thinking out loud because it's so sad that every day you have just you have between 2 to 4 hours to yourself. The rest you leave it for the government, you leave it for the system. And I'm not even saying that running a business easier than working a 9 to 5 job. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that people that, you know, make enough money to be able to live the kind of life that they live, even if it's not like 100%. If you're doing something that affords you even a fraction of the kind of life that you want, that you love, that you think about for yourself, then you're doing something well. I see people like that as being blessed, being lucky. Sometimes I envy them because for me, that's not the case. It's not like I don't have things I love, but when you're doing things you love and then there's nothing to show for it, it's like you're not doing anything because there's nothing to show for it. It's not making you money, and even though you love it, but it's not making you money, and it just feels like you're wasting your life and wasting your time doing what you love. So it's very sad. And eventually you're stuck with your 9 to 5. So you literally have to dedicate everything you have to the system. You have to feed the system. You cannot get out of this system until you get out of it. And when you get out of it, then you're out of it, if that makes sense.